Hey guys, I'm really gradually finding this peace um, within me, with myself. I've I'm I'm just so I was just wondering today, like I'm wondering all the time. I'm having thoughts here all the time, constantly in my little head, trying to work out things. I've listened to so much. It's unbelievable how much I've taken in this lifetime. And I came across. Oh, I want to talk about a couple of things. One of which is there is this verse that popped into my head recently: "No weapon formed against thee shall prosper." That's the one. And the other one is, what's the purpose here of us being here? And I'm coming to the conclusion more and more is that, yeah, we need to find out that we can't die. Our consciousness can't die. I think that's the ultimate goal of this experience, leading us towards this understanding. And facing our fears, facing down all the fears that you've built up in this lifetime, right? So one of my big fears was being on my own, abandonment fear. Good God. I mean, my parents split up when I was very young, and I got raised by my grandparents. So I know where my abandonment issues come from, but it's one thing knowing and understanding, another one facing them down. And this enforced isolation that I've been experiencing here since my husband has died has literally made me face that ultimate of ultimate fears for me, this being on my own thing. And I'm starting to just be okay with that, actually enjoying the peace of it. Also, all sorts of little stupid fears. For instance, like I have these insectoid fears. um, I had a teacher that put big spiders on me as a little child, so I had nightmares of being covered in spiders, for instance. And another horrendous thing for me is ticks, right? So there's a lot of ticks here because of the cattle, and they end up on the dogs. And for many years, it's fascinating actually. I would touch and stroke a dog, and within seconds, if there was one on them, my hand was guided, literally guided. It's almost like a missile-seeking, object here in my hand, and I'd spot that tick straight away, and then pull them out for the dogs. Now, my little female dog, she had very thick skin, and taking the tick out was often very difficult, and you'd end up with the head being stuck in there, and you just rip the body off. An absolute nightmare. My little black boy, he has such thin skin, so they come out easily. So anyway, I always had this thought in my head: for God's sakes, if I ever had a tick on me, it would be an absolute disaster. I have this this repulsion against these things. And a while ago, I sat here on the table, and I felt something tickle me on the arm, and there was this tick crawling around, and I brushed it off, and then it was crawling on the table, and I couldn't find it again, and it was like I was just in this state, and I'll be damned, what would happen? Um, about 3 weeks ago or so, I'm sat here in the evening, and I'm thinking, something's itching me on my belly, right? And I'm there, I'm like, and I'm thinking, gosh, it might be. I have these skin things that like little molds that I have. My grandmother had the same skin issues. Anyway, they sometimes itch, right? It's like a not like a brown mold, but like a sort of see-through, well, like a pinkish mold. Anyway, I'm thinking, I'm touching this thing, I've got another one of those then, have I? And then it just wouldn't leave me alone. I look at it, and it's a tick right above my belly button, below. And I'm having a hissy fit, of course, and I know as well, like in that spot, it won't be easy to get the pincers, the um, the eyebrow pincers, and pull that thing off. I knew it was going to be difficult, and it just latched on, so it was not fully developed. Usually when they're filled, they let go easier. I'm like, oh my God. But I had to rip it off straight away. And of course, what happens is I rip the body off, and this bloody head is still attached to me, right? And it comes off like little bits here and then. Still, it's in there. And I just had to grab a hold of my mind. And I was thinking of, in the movie, the new remake of the Alien Invasion, with Tom Cruise, right? And this little girl, and she has a splinter in her finger, and she says, well, it doesn't belong to my body will push it out, right? And that instantly came into my head, and I had to say to myself, well, now I am me, I and the tick are one, but the tick doesn't belong to me, so my body will sort it out, and over time it'll just push it out. And I was itching like crazy, and I always wondered what it was like for my dog when I hadn't pulled them out properly, and this bit was still left in there. So I put lots of Manuka honey on, put a plaster on, and just tried to ignore it, right? And lo and behold, my body pushed it out eventually, right? So I think we're here facing our fears down. And I'm thinking, in much the same way, if this verse is really true, no weapon against thee shall prosper, then hell, put that together with some of the near-death experiences. You say, well, this body was lying there and I was totally disconnected to this body, so what the hell? Nothing here can harm you, is what I'm trying to say. So all of this fear of, and it is a mind game at the end of the day. Whatever you believe strongly enough, people shift, people heal themselves. So we're all so up in arms. The mark of the beast, don't take the mark of the, this is it, your soul will die. Do you really believe that anything that can happen to this body that will go back to the earth is going to damage your soul? Really, do you really believe that? That's insane. That's one thing. Another thing, I just recently came across a channel, and he's, well, we're God. And now, we can extend, these bodies were made to live forever. We can extend with our mind these bodies forever. Well, we do have a certain lifespan, and I do think we are being denied the fullness of our lifespan here with all sorts of toxins and stuff. And again, if you believe in the power of your mind, do these toxins really, can they really affect you? Or is that just an illusion? That's one point. And the next point I'm wanting to make is, do you always want to be Hamlet? Do you want to play Hamlet forever and ever and ever? Do you really want to live forever and play that role? They're just sort of thoughts, because I know I would get really bored playing Hamlet forever and ever. But I just thought that was interesting, because yes, we are being told that people lived for 800 years. Well, I think it would be an awful long time in, this madhouse to be here for 800 years. So, yeah. So these are my thoughts that I just felt I would like to share with people and see what they think. Have you got thoughts like that in all of this chaos, what you're observing and what you're learning and what you're finding out and what you think the truth is, and how does that affect you? Do you want to live forever playing Hamlet?